let me ask you a question. You like keeping secrets? You keep any secrets yourself? I know I do. Those of us in Carl's class have a real leg up when it comes to keeping secrets, because we know how to operate a computer and OpenCV, and we know about the Fourier transform, and we know about convolutions and correlations. What I'm getting at is I got a super special, super duper way to keep secrets that I'm going to tell you about right now. How to hide data in an image or video. What? Hide data in an image? What? You might ask. Yeah, that's right. Can't even see it with the human eye. It's called digital watermarking using phase dispersion. This particular method of watermarking was implemented by two good friends of my professor, Hansinger and Rabbani of Kodak Labs. So let's get right into the description, shall we? It might make more sense for me to visually describe it, as I have attempted to do in the past to very little avail. I'll try it again though. Give me a second, let me go grab my tools. Okay, so imagine this is my OpenCV environment, right? It might be a little hard to visualize, but let's go through the steps, right? You have your main image that you want to encode with a secret image or binary data, or really any sort of data you would want to encode in there. Those are your two prerequisites. So let's just ignore the X-Acto knife and ignore the candle. This is simply here because of the wind. This is our image we want to encode, okay? Oh, here is our secret image, okay? This is basically what we're going to be invisibly watermarking our entire image with. First step is you convolve your secret image with carrier data or a carrier image. There are several ways to generate a carrier image, but it really just has to be randomized data. To generate this randomized data, of course, you would input some sort of seed, and you would have that seed on hand so you can regenerate this data, so you can extract the watermark when you need to. But basically, so you can convolve. What is a convolution? Well, you take your secret image, do the Fourier transform of it, and that'll put your image in the frequency domain. And you would do the exact same for the randomized image carrier data that you generate. And then you just multiply them. That's all that you're going to want to do to finish off the convolution. And what we do is we're going to put that on our original image at some scaling factor. So to do this, to bake it into the image to make it look like noise, we take the average of the convolved data, which at this point just looks like noise, and subtract that average out, and then multiply by some scaling factor. So let's pretend this is the original secret watermarked image. This is the convolved image. It's not exactly noise, but it's nonsensical, and that's all we're looking for. We split our original image up into tiles that are the size of your watermark. Say this is a 128 by 128 pixel image. We would tile our image out. Let's do exactly that. We don't have to go all the way, but you know, just for the purposes of illustration, you would, oh Lord. And be careful to not cut yourself when encoding your secret image. Let's be very careful here. You know, just another one. Oh, shoot. Oh. Well, we lost it. We lost that set of our data, but okay, we cannot lose the secret image. So you have all these tiles of image data for my illustration, and at each tile, add on your convoluted watermark data. Imagine this atop every single tile in your original image. Turn the scale way down so it's just baked right into the noise. The human eye cannot recognize it at all. Now, what happens when you want to decode it and get a message out of it? Well, it's kind of like this, but basically backwards. Let's go over it. Take the image, you take all these tiles. Don't want to lose our knife. You take all the tiles and you, across the whole image, it's tiled up. You add all the values together, like so. Stack all the tiles. Simply add their pixel values, and you'll get a single tile that's the exact same size as your convolved watermark. You regenerate. You have a seed to generate that carrier frequency. So you use that seed to regenerate the exact same noise, and you take this sum of image values. So once you have these ingredients back, your sum of tiled image values and your carrier signal generated with your known seed, you take the Fourier transform of both of those ingredients and then correlate them. You cyclically correlate the images. And you might be asking, what is a correlation? You told me what convolution is. What's correlation? And not too hard of a question. Correlation essentially is just convolution, but you take the complex conjugate of one of the two images being correlated. So pretty much more the same. Once these two little boys are correlated, bada bing, bada boom, you send that image right out. That's pretty much it for demonstration purposes. Not as many equations going on here. It's not as hard to visualize as something more complicated like a CFA demosaicing pattern or something like that. I don't know. Basically, let's get to the results, huh? Let's see how this thing does. Here I am, ready to discuss results of this phase dispersion algorithm. The watermark I opted to use was a grayscale cropped image of my most precious little baby boy, Waggy. Everybody loves him. And he's a black and white dog to begin with, so it just makes sense. I ended up only working on square host images. Definitely some sort of issue with loops, but I ended up testing on the classic Lena color image. Of course, the encoded image looks no different from the normal image. The real issue came up when trying to decode the image. I believe encoding went smoothly. It's trying to extract this information where everything fell apart. You see, extracting the encoded watermark from the exact same image without any alterations or changes to the image led to a PSNR value of 7. For context, it is about at 30 dB when humans can no longer tell the difference, and you want to be well above that, like maybe 50 dB. Well, I guess in this case, since there's no adjustments to the image after or before decoding, you would seek an infinite dB, but no, I got 7 dB. You can still make out waggy, but there's definitely something wrong there, especially in the dark areas. It appears that perhaps a Fourier transform was not correctly inversed. You can see in the cloudy grays where there should be blacks, it greatly resembles the clouds that are formed in the convolution image that is embedded on the original image. So definitely it looks like some sort of decoding issue at that part. We have an RMSE value of 112. You want that to be low. Again, in this case, you would want it to approach 0. And 112 is a far cry away. Of course, there's no units on that. When comparing the demosaicing algorithms on my previous project, we were seeing values of around 20, 30. This is 112. Future Jared or Wade, whoever's watching. I hope you forgive my absolute incompetency in the execution of this algorithm. It's unforgivable. You ever have Cholula? Chili garlic? Oh, just wondering. Okay, see you later.